as we count up to list number 9 being the most important for the ScreamRockMosh 10-year anniversary top 10s list. We'll, aside from filming in my bedroom, we'll also be filming my studio loft, having my backdrop that I use for my videos and all. And as for that, this list is for the top 10 local bands based on musicianship. And this list is quite an oversight with my 10-year history of work with the music scene. As for the top 10 on this list, out of the 104 bands slash musicians I work with in the music scene, even though it's quite an oversight, I'll try to do my best reasoning as I can for why these musicians are the top 10 based on musicianship, and as for that, and I'll do my very best to explain. But for now, at number 10 goes to Pure Joy People. And Pure Joy People was a great band to work with. In the year, I was like losing like motivation for my work. I'm trying my best to hold on to my business throughout that year. It was great coming across their musicianship. And as for that, I've been around to pretty much all their record release shows, as for having all 3 of them, like Puppy Butt, Southern Parts of Heaven, and Octopus Woman, like all these 3. Got my first record signed by them, then got their second EP, and then their actual album, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and their musicianship is talented. Pure Joy has quite the voice carrying on the musicianship and all, and she pretty much lead her performances with Rob. Pretty grateful, along with the band help make their live performance greater. And I could say that Pure Joy People is a band I supported when earthquake was happening. Like it was at a show in downtown, like on First Friday, and the ground was shaking, so I was confused, like why things were moving, and then someone pointed out, oh, we just had an earthquake throughout the performance, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Besides that, their musicianship, yeah, like they have great recordings and all, like the studio production for their records are really great, and every record they have and all is pretty badass. Especially Octopus Woman is their highest yet, but I still like Certain Parts of Heaven and Puppy Butt, and then the recordings for these records are great. But at number 10, the top 10 local bands based on musicianship goes to Pure Joy People. Number 9 goes to Words from Aztecs, and Words from Aztecs, they were quite the most deserving band in our Las Vegas music scene, because when I worked with them at the very beginning, they had the absolute drive and for their passion and being on stage, and also like supporting them for Extreme Thing. Like they should have played Extreme Thing one year as supporting them at Battle of Fans and all. But yeah, their musicianship for being metalcore has been astounding, and like it was cool working with them before, even though it's been like an incomplete journey with them, because we stopped working together, like in the middle ground and all, so I couldn't see the complete journey at like Lost Rages and all that. But other than that, in the beginning times, they were killing it with their musicianship and being on stage. They absolutely had a great force in metalcore, even though, yeah, it's kind of like an incomplete journey with them, but it's great working with them in my years with the Las Vegas music scene. But other than that, I really supported their music in the beginning times of ScreamRockMosh and all. And other than that, and like their music is great now. I hope so, but I only know like the earlier stuff or so. But other than that, number 9 goes to Words from Aztecs. Number 8 goes to Tonight We Fight. And Tonight We Fight were a great pop punk band in our music scene. And it's cool like how everyone was in the band from the time I knew them, with Brandon being the drummer, Brandon Padilla, then Brandon Todd, I hope I said his last name right, and then Cameron, Giles, Lee Berry, and Chance. I can't say his last name right, but other than that, yeah, Tonight We Fight, we're good for the pop punk genre. They definitely compose great songs for it, especially Brendan's range for the genre and the whole like instrumental side of the band, keeping his range solid for being pop punk. Cause I don't know, pop punk. Asides, no, let me dive into that part. Like pop punk, I guess, rely mostly on the lyrics and the vocalists. And that's where that Brandon was great. Being vocals for Tonight We Fight, and the sounding around it with everyone else kept that genre good for the band overall. I'm kind of not talking as good for the pop punk genre right now, which is kind of lame. But they were a good pop punk band in our music scene, and it was always great seeing them live and listening to the record from like I think it's the Tables 2 EP they had. I know there's a song called that. They had Derailed. They had another song too when it was just Cameron and Brandon. But other than that, yeah, at number 8 goes to Tonight We Fight. Number 7 goes to Perusha. And Perusha is a project that was after Avenir and Nocturnal Burial. And as for Perusha, it consisted of Winston, Daniel, Dalton, and Martin. And they were really good musicianships around the early days doing ScreamRockMosh. At the time around like the box office in the Sanctuary 2 and all. And yeah, Martin was a great singer, carrying on his third project or so at that time. Same with Dalton too on bass, he was good, and Winston on drums, he was great as well. And Daniel too, he was definitely like a badass on guitar. Like he would also do the backup screams, like being that like a full force with his musicianship and all. And his guitar musicianship was great too for the band. And like even though they didn't have like records for Perusha, like they had a song for Avenir. Like I still have that demo, and of course I have Nocturnal Burial's demo too from like the farm days. But Perusha, I don't recall having them in my with the other records I have with the music scene. But yeah, the musicianship was really good with them, especially with Daniel, along with Martin too, and the rest of the band. But Daniel too, he went to be in a band called So This Is Suffering, and he led the guitars for that band pretty solid as well. Haven't really dived down much to that project or so, but yeah, the members for Perusha was great, and it's cool to have them at number 7 for this list. Number 6 goes to one of my all-time favorite bands, being We Gave It Hell. And We Gave It Hell consisted of, when I knew them, from Taylor, Parker, Andrew, Justin, and Adam. And they killed it a lot on stage for being for being as metal as they were, for giving it hell on stage and all. But yeah, Taylor range as vocals was really great, from his singing to his screaming, which is pretty badass. And Parker's drumming was pretty tight too as well. And along with Justin and Adam, forgot which instruments they play, and all, being guitarists and bassists and all, but they were good. And Andrew too, he was definitely good as well for being the guitarist and new backup vocals too, as I remember. And Taylor, as I've said, his singing and all that. But yeah, like they always have a really great songs for the records they release and all. And like I could list some songs like Anchors, Divergence, This King Will Fall, Aries, Finite, Labyrinth, and all. I know I listen to them like frequently in my time with the museum, and they sound that good, and their musicianship is that great to be, you know, number 6 and all. And it's cool like how their writing is and how they perform the instruments they choose to have. And yeah, number 6 goes to We Get Hell. And you know, I'm trying my best to give my best reasoning for all these bands to being on this list, and we'll get to number 5. Number 5 goes to Twin Cities, and Twin City mainly consists of Macario. He does his set by himself, or he has a band behind him doing his live shows and all. But his full force just himself with a guitar and his voice definitely is great. And like his writing too is quite, you know, like I don't know, like emotional, I guess, emotionally like great, from being voiced to himself to a whole crowd. He definitely has a huge audience behind him, which is cool. And he did like guest vocals for like bands from the music scene from time to time. But as for him being on the mic and his acoustic guitar, his musicianship is that great. And if anyone knows that Macario Gutierrez knows that he's definitely true to his musicianship. So at damn, I forgot what number this is. Oh, number 5. Yeah, number 5 goes to Macario. Number 4 now goes to Oni Inc. And it's excellent for Tyler to be like a number 4 on this list, even though it's just him now mainly. He did have some good collaborators with Oni, like with Jay and Brandon and all. And like yeah, before Oni, he was the Ransom Elite and all. Then became Oni. Then he still had the Ransom Elite. Then it just became all Oni. But other than that, for him being the best at number 4 is because he had previous projects from God Migos and Greater Depths, and for him to be like a post-hardcore metalcore, pretty much like a singer in like in the middle genre for like his screams and all. It definitely helped him much for his project with Oni Inc. And it is quite the risk move from going from like from a rocking genre to a hip hop genre, and that 180 definitely suits Tyler well to his success with music. Because as from I know from him, the numbers for his music is way greater outside like Las Vegas music scene and all. But that's from numbers count. This pretty much is based on talent, and he is quite a talented musician. He has the absolute drive with the music scene just by himself. Like I could relate to him away, but in the media aspects of things. But he can definitely sing in a very wide range, from just singing like soft songs about like dying and all that, to just raging the fuck out with screams for music. And I like his songs with Oni Inc. for being either like a chill or such a banger song. Other than that, yeah, Tyler definitely goes great with Oni Inc. And also Brendan too. He's like the voice of hip hop. And honestly, has the voice for it. And if he ever does a solo project, that'd be cool too. But Oni Inc. was greater with Tyler and Brendan, but now it's just Tyler. And with Tyler having a quite veteran experience with Oni Inc. definitely suits well for all the songs he's been releasing so far, and being one of the top 10 local bands based on musicianship, being just a musician himself, goes to number 4 to Tyler. For number 3 now, it goes to Almost Awake, one of the excellent bands in our Las Vegas music scene. For Almost Awake being number 3, it holds the talent of pretty much all Victoria, Grady, Gabe, Addison, and Tommy. And all these musicians alone make pretty much the band definition its greatest, I suppose. Like Victoria, she has quite the range for being a vocalist for an alternative rock band. From yeah, that range has been great to capture on cinematography or like recording the performances, and seeing that range as a musician for Victoria has been excellent to see. Another excellent member of the band is Grady Jones. Even though he has a side project too being Kalani, but him being in Almost Awake has been badass. Like he's really excellent with guitar and all, and it definitely suits suits the musicianship well, as from recording to live performances. And Gabe, he's great on drums too. He has that more funky style to it as drummer, but he's definitely like that excellent for being part of Almost a Week. And there's Bryson too, and like he's way crazy good as with Gabe, but Bryson's like more with timing and all that. And same with Gabe too, but the more funky side, I suppose. But other than that, like even though there's two drummers, yeah, but with Gabe sake, I guess he was great with the band. As from the time I knew them, like primarily. Then Addison, he does great being a rhythm guitarist. He brings vibe to the band because there's Grady. He does the excellent scaling of the band, but Addison definitely brings the energy and the wrist the rhythm parts to the band. And actually he's pretty solid too. And when he left the band, that kind of energy was lost without his writing with the band. But he did tell me, I think he was in the studio for Dizzy, I think. So that was badass, and that was like one of their best recorded um, records before the band split up. If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I remember being told or so. And Tommy too, he was good on bass as well, keeping up with how Grady and Addison was, and also with following up with Gabe's parts too, and Bryson's parts too as well when he joined the band. What I'm very not good of how bassists are in bands, but Tommy was good with the band, making it like all complete. But in all, being at number 3, Almost Awake, are really talented band, being like the definition of excellence. Even though now they're not part of the scene anymore, I guess. Because Victoria became drowsy and Kalani. No, and Grady Jones was himself, then he became Kalani with and all. But yeah, other than that, my reasoning was best for number 3 for Almost Awake. Now for the number 2 top 10 local band based on musicianship goes to Fear of Static. And Fear of Static was really cool in the Las Vegas music scene. Like I came across them at the church when I was supporting one of the musicians I was working with at the time, and like when I saw them perform, like I was like, damn, that was really solid for the performance and all. So like when I was just chilling outside the church and they happened to be outside, I went up to them and gave them props for how they were and all. And since I did, we became really good, yeah, like associates, I suppose. Like we didn't work together until like the very end with the band, I guess, and all. But it was cool that Steven was cool enough to like give me a shirt by the band, and they also gave me their record, at the Artisan supporting them. My bad if I say this wrong. Mercurial, yeah, Mercurial. I know I said it wrong, but yeah, their album and all. It's been pretty solid. It's recorded at the Palms. Yeah, it was recorded, mixed, yeah, performed and written. Yeah, mixed, recorded at the Palms, and which is pretty cool. Yeah, and they have one of a solid record for a band in our music scene, and the writing is pretty solid too. Like Steven has quite a natural voice for singing and all. Like he carried his voice with the band, and along the band being with Tony and Ian. Like Ian, he's a really like a crazy bassist, I suppose. Like he goes at it on bass too, and like he's pretty like fast when he plays that instrument. And yeah, and also Tony's drumming too suits the band well as being really excellent on the recording and all that. And like overall, their stage presence is badass, and the recording too is excellent. As for being like one of this record is one of my favorite records to listen to, and it's cool to hear it time and time again because their songwriting is good. especially with everyone involved, and especially Steven with his natural singing voice, and it's pretty talented. Yeah, it's cool to say that at number two goes to Fear Static, the number one band for being the top 10 local band based on musicianship goes to Apex of Apathy. And Apex of Apathy consisted of, from when I knew them, Clayton, Morgan, Alex, and Adam. And it was cool being with them towards their the the Flying Machine album era, and then they had their era for the Saltwater EP, which is cool. And yeah, like they're pretty much the best band in our Las Vegas music scene. I work with them in the middle in the middle years of ScreamRockMosh, and like the first half of it, I suppose. And yeah, they have such a excellent ways to go about their songs, especially for writing and all that. And, like the songs they have like 100% and like greatly written and all. And I like the flying machine a lot and all. And it's cool how the band sound on that record, and they all contribute like greatly as a band. Like Adam with his drumming and singing, which is pretty cool trait to have for being on drums and singing, because both being a drummer and being a singer have a lot to be with a band, but he does both, which is pretty excellent. And I think he does the screams too, which is cool. And then Morgan, he's really great on guitar. Same with Clayton as well, and Alex on bass too is badass. But yeah, number one goes to Apex Athlete. Yeah, they're such a talented band in our music scene when they're around, and and it was quite sad when they had their last show at Southern Nevada Sports Center. I definitely got hyped up for April Showers. I think a stage dive for that band, like on the side, I guess. And I definitely got down with them. The crowd was definitely had much love for Apex of Athlete and all. And they became I remember, I think, I hope I said that name right. But I have their songs on my computer that I got digitally. But I got these two records from Apex Athlete. I think I bought this one, and I bought this one too as well. And they gave, when I pre-ordered this, I got a poster from that pre-order, and they also gave me a sign too, made by Morgan. It's like a ScreamRockMosh fan sign, I suppose, which is pretty cool and all that. But yeah, for one time, based on their musicianship, it was that astonishing to have in our music scene, and they are quite the misted band and all. But yeah, number one for this list, being the top 10 local band based on musicianship, goes to at number one, Apex of Apathy.